Hello, my name is Michaela Evans. I'm a parent educator for Kentucky Spin. And today on our Spotlighting Kentucky segment, where we highlight some of our favorite agencies around the state working hard to impact families and individuals with disabilities. Today I have Laura Beard here. She's the Family Engagement Coordinator from the Pritchard Committee. And we're really excited to talk to her and hear about all the great things they're doing for families. Laura, do you care to tell us a little bit about you and what the Pritchard Committee does?
Thanks, Michaela. I came to the Pritchard Committee after several years of serving as a family consultant in different roles with nonprofits and most recently with the Kentucky Department for Public Health. I'm the mother of an adult child. He's 20 and I have 2 teenage girls. I'm also a proud foster adoptive parent, and so the work I do really is a reflection of those priorities as a parent, to really encourage child and family serving agencies and systems to engage with one another, to build partnerships so that our children and families can succeed.
Wonderful. And so do you care to share a little bit about your why and how you got in the field of education and what keeps you here?
Well, that's my why, so my kids. And at the Pritchard Committee, we are committed to engaging Kentuckians on education issues. We really look to inspire and equip them to act in their own local district to improve the education outcomes that are close to home, which we know if that happens in the local district, that will also affect our statewide results. And so we are really committed to encouraging people to take local action. We call it the groundswell initiative. And so it's basically saying that, you know, I believe in public education and I'm going to do my part in my community and in my state to make sure that Kentucky is really achieving great academic success.
Absolutely, and I agree. I feel like that's kind of the best place to start and help make an impact, and we can all get involved. What are some of the programs and services that you offer at the Pritchard Committee?
So we do a wide variety of things, and we have anything from policy to parent leadership to student voice. Most recently, we've really ramped up our Equity Coalition efforts. But my particular program is our fellowship, which is also known as CIPL for short, but it stands for the Commonwealth Institute for Parent Leadership. This fellowship provides resources to parents who are looking to become more involved, like I mentioned earlier, in their local district. Each class is responsible for completing a series of webinars. Those are live discussion topics, recordings, some action items they do in between each webinar, but it really culminates with this year-end district project. So we're encouraging parents to take on a project in their local area that really is moving the needle for education. And so really excited. We have a class of around 38 this year, and we're adding on some new folks at the beginning of the year. So it's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah, and a couple of other things that we do kind of in combination with the parent leadership work is we host a Kentucky Collaborative for Families in School call. That happens once a month. It's always on the second Thursday, and anyone who's interested in education matters can join. We're trying to increase the partnership between families and school. So we really see this as families and schools coming together, and we have a framework that we really do all of our activities within called Dual Capacity. It's a framework from Dr. Karen Mapp. And in our monthly calls, we try to offer some lunch and learn type topics where you can hop on for an hour, hear about some cool things happening in education or get important updates about policies, or we have different folks who spotlight. I know we've had Kentucky Spin on several times to talk about the work that you guys are doing, but it's really a place for people to share their resources. And then we take those resources and we have a weekly newsletter that highlights the best selection of our upcoming activities and things that we think are pertinent to families. There's a lot of information out there, but to kind of file through it is tough sometimes. So we try to package that in a nice, simple way And you can do that. You can sign up for that weekly resource at our Get Connected page on our website that I'll talk about later on.
Wonderful. Those are definitely some great things for families to check out. What are some typical questions that you receive from parents and families looking to get more involved?
A lot of questions that we receive from parents have to do with increasing their own advocacy skills. Do you have information on running for school board? Do you have information on family engagement in the law? What are some education terms I need to know as a parent? And so we're kind of a go-to for people who are trying to increase their advocacy or leadership skills within their school. We also are working to really serve as a voice not just for parents and students, but most recently teachers. So we just released a teacher response, and we have a teacher fellowship that's gearing up to get started. So we also have a report that I think it's called the Big Bold Future Report, and I think it's really helpful to parents to kind of see where we are in education. Where does Kentucky fall in math and reading? Where are our education gaps and what are our equity issues? And we're really a resource hub for all that information. So we get a lot of questions around what's the newest research or what's the upcoming policies that will affect education and how can I get involved?
I can see where you would get a lot of those questions. And I love that you're including teachers as well. I think especially right now, teachers could really use all the support that they could get. So I love that. Is there something critical that you feel like families or professionals need to know right now, especially during the time of COVID and all that we have going on?
Well, COVID has certainly changed a lot for many of us, and education has been one of those that's really been turned upside down, it seems. Just re-innovating the way that we do almost everything. But I would say that that Big Bold Future report that I referenced is kind of a nice starting point to kind of get a feel for where were we pre-pandemic with education in Kentucky. Where do we hope to go? So our Big Bold Future report is like, 5 years from now, where do we want to be in Kentucky and what's it going to take to get there? And COVID is priority right now, and making sure that our families are healthy and safe, and making sure that our education markers are being followed and watched, and that we're providing as many supports as we can for families struggling during this time. I will say that we have done some real work in equity issues, and we've just recently established an equity pledge, and that extends beyond our organization as really a mission to improve inequities that exist in our current education system. And I will say they've been exacerbated by the pandemic. So those things that we maybe knew were inequities before have really been put under the spotlight. And so I think it's now a time to say, hey, we've known these exist. They're uncovered right now. Let's do something about them. And so I would say for families that would be something that they would be really, that information would really be pertinent to them.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you want families that view this video to take away in terms of the message that the Pritchard Committee wants to convey?
Just that anybody can get involved. I think that sometimes we think in order to get involved, you have to be invited. And so I just want this message to serve as an invitation. If you're interested in what's going on in public education in Kentucky, we need you. And we want to have Groundswell members from every part of the state. And signing on to Groundswell is just saying, hey, I'm in. I want information about what's happening in education. I want to join your mailing list. I want to be invited to your upcoming conferences and events. We have a wealth of resources on our website, and that's pritchardcommittee.org. If you check that out, there's a Get Involved tab, and anyone's welcome. This isn't a group that is in isolation. We are welcoming to anyone who really says they want to step up for public education, and we'd love to have you. So that would be my kind of biggest push for parents who may be watching this is we really, really need you, and we need your voice.
What a great message that is. And I certainly hope that the families out there watching will go and visit the PritchardCommittee.org and check out those great resources that you have on your website. And become more involved. And of course, if anybody has any questions, you can contact us at Kentucky SPIN and we'll point you in the direction of the Pritchard Committee, or you can contact them directly, or Laura, and we'd be glad to give you some more information. And Laura, thank you so much for spreading these more information about these wonderful resources that the Pritchard Committee has to offer today. And we really appreciate you guys coming on Spotlight in Kentucky.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for being such a great partner.
Oh, you're welcome.